As Luffy raised his hockey-infused fist to strike, his body suddenly froze. Intense, searing pain erupted in his head. He stumbled, clutching his temples as fragmented memories began to surface. He had flashes of his childhood with Ace and Sabo, moments of laughter and tears, and the promise to always be there for each other. Luffy collapsed to his knees in front of the execution platform, gasping for breath as the internal battle raged within him. The memories implanted by Emu and the Elders clashed violently with the fragments of his real past. Ace watched in shock as Luffy writhed on the ground and began tugging at his chains to help him. The battlefield came to a standstill as everyone watched the strange scene unfold. Garp, Whitebeard, the Marines, and even the Elder spies hidden among the crowd. As Luffy writhed on the ground, Garp saw his grandson's pain and moved to help him. But Sengoku, seeing the potential threat to the world government's plans, stepped in. He tried to pin Garp down, but the old man wouldn't let anyone get between him and his grandson. He clashed with Sengoku, betraying the Marines in turn and choosing his family over everything else. In the chaos, Sakazuki stepped onto the execution platform. He had no patience for sentimentality or delays. With cold resolve, he seized the opportunity to end Ace's life while everyone was distracted. Before anyone could stop him, Sakazuki plunged his fist through Ace's chest. Time seemed to freeze as Ace's blood sprayed across the platform. His eyes widened in shock before a weak smile crossed his face. He whispered his final words, looking toward Luffy, telling him to live free. Ace collapsed, his chains rattling as his body slumped lifelessly to the ground. The battlefield fell silent, the weight of the moment suffocating everyone present. A loud roar was heard far from the execution platform as Whitebeard saw his son collapse. Luffy, still on his knees, stared at Ace's lifeless body. The memories of their shared childhood flashed vividly in his mind, breaking through the mental barriers implanted by the Elders. Emotions began overwhelming him, and for the first time in years, Luffy let himself feel. The pressure of his emotions erupted outward, releasing a devastating wave of conqueror's haki. The battlefield shook as weaker Marines and pirates alike collapsed, unconscious from the sheer force of Luffy's will. Even the strongest among them, including Sengoku and the admirals, felt the crushing weight of his fury. Luffy's body began to transform. Dark, black, and red clouds began swirling around him like a storm, and his eyes glowed with an intense, burning anger. His devil fruit was awakened. This was not the joyful liberation of Nika. It was a corrupted, repressed state, driven by pain and rage. The ground beneath him warped and twisted, his newfound power altering reality in chaotic, unsettling ways. Without a word, Luffy lunged at Sakazuki, his movements erratic, yet overwhelmingly powerful. His rubbery body stretched and contorted in ways that defied logic, each attack infused with his rage-fueled haki. The air crackled with energy as his punches landed, shaking the very foundation of Marineford. Sakazuki struggled to keep up. His magma attacks, once unstoppable, were met with equal ferocity as Luffy's rubbery fists absorbed and countered them with devastating force. Luffy roared, his voice echoing unnaturally, saying that everyone would pay. The ground beneath him melted and cracked from the heat of their battle, and even the surrounding ocean began to churn violently. As Luffy's rampage continued, Garp finally broke free from Sengoku's hold and called out to his grandson. For a brief moment, Luffy hesitated. The Marines regrouped, determined to subdue him as Sakazuki leapt back. Luffy, consumed by fury and the unstable power of his corrupted Gear 5 form, overwhelmed the Marines attempting to restrain him. Spotting Sakazuki, Luffy dashed toward the Admiral as he grabbed a Marine saber on his way. With a single swing, the blade cleaved through Sakazuki's magma-coated arm, severing it completely. The Admiral screamed in agony, blood spraying. Sakazuki staggered back, attempting to counterattack, but the tremors of Whitebeard's quakes disrupted his footing. Massive cracks formed in the earth, and buildings collapsed into the sea. The battlefield was now a hellscape of destruction, and both pirates and Marines scrambled to survive. Amid the devastation, something even more ominous began to manifest. Dark magic circles appeared on the ground. From the center of the largest circle emerged Saint Saturn. Saturn's presence radiated authority and power, sending a wave of fear through the battlefield. The Gorosei's gaze locked onto Luffy, his voice calm but firm, cutting through the chaos like a knife. He told Luffy to stand down and return with him. Luffy, breathing heavily and visibly strained, turned to face Saturn. His Gear 5 form had begun to take its toll. His body trembled from the backlash, and his once unrelenting will faltered. Saturn took a step forward as Luffy's knees buckled, and the dark clouds around him began to dissipate. Just as Saturn moved to retrieve him, a figure appeared between them with a flash of red and gold. Shanks! The Yonko stood protectively in front of Luffy. His blade, Gryphon, was already unsheathed. His eyes, sharp and focused, met Saturn's without fear, before declaring that Luffy wasn't going anywhere with him. Saturn's expression hardened, threatening Shanks over what would happen if he didn't step aside. Shanks' grip on Gryphon tightened, and he told Saturn to step aside or face his wrath. Recognizing Shanks as a serious threat, Saturn's calm demeanor shifted. His body began to contort as he unleashed the power of his devil.